All right, so what's up, guys? Now, in this video, we're going to talk about running advertisement. I'm going to talk to you guys about my number one ad strategy that I use to quickly, when I say quickly, meaning like within 3 days, to find out what winning advertisement is in my campaign. And then when I find out what winning advertisement is in my campaign, I can scale that aggressively and profitably, right? Now, I use this same strategy for Facebook, I use it for TikTok, I use it for YouTube, I use it for Google. The concept is the same. It's probably the first time I'm actually teaching this, but it is such a simple strategy that works so well. And I'm so surprised that a lot of people don't know about this, or they do things very weird, right? When I've consulted with a few clients and they tell me how they do their testing phase, right? I'm like, huh, so how do you actually know that things are working, right? So I'm going to share this with you guys today. This is also a recently added course, module to the course. Now, understand this. What I'm sharing with you guys is just the strategy, right? If it is that you guys are familiar with running Facebook advertisement, this will suffice. I'm assuming that most of you guys already know how to do that, because this is targeting people who have existing businesses, people who are actually promoting their offers and all that stuff. If it is that you don't understand what I'm saying in this module, don't worry, I have a Facebook ads course specifically for the micro webinar that you guys can purchase, right? That goes more in detail, right? Because understand that this is a micro webinar course. I'm really showing you guys the script and the funnel strategy. These are just additional stuff. It's not that technical course where I have to go in detail. We're showing you step by step in launching the ad campaign. But this right here will show you the most important thing, the metrics to look out for, the advertisement strategy, and much more. Once you have this, this is what I do to launch my advertisement for every single offer that I promote, whether it is for leads, whether it is for sales. Everything is surrounded by this one ad strategy. For this case, we're going to use Facebook as the platform that we're going to apply this strategy to. All right. So let's talk about that real quick. Now, when you're running advertisement, understand that you have three cool things, right? Three, three cool things. You're going to have a campaign, and this is oftentimes what's the objective of that advertisement, quote unquote, campaign that you're launching. Is it to get awareness? Is it to get leads? Is it to get sales? Well, understand when you're selecting this, even though it's a micro webinar, and leads will be the first thing that you'll be getting. That's not what we're optimizing it for. We're optimizing for sales, right? So the campaign in our case is going to be for sales, right? Now, instead of a campaign, you will have ad sets. Ad sets are basically who you're targeting, the demographic, all that stuff. So, what country, what age range, what interest, all these things. Who you're targeting is what comes inside of the ad set. Ad sets is inside of the ad campaign, right? Pretty cool. Now, inside of the ad sets, you will have ad creatives. These are the advertisement that you will see out there on Facebook, Instagram, all these cool places. The actual video that you're using for your advertisement, the actual photo that you're using for your advertisement. So, right, we understand that campaign, the objective, ad set, who you're targeting, ad creatives, the actual advertisement that people will see. Okay, so once we understand that, you will then know what I'm talking about when I go over this strategy, right? And then you'll know what to do when you go on Facebook Ad Manager and you're launching your ad campaign. Now, let's dive a little bit deeper into the actual strategy, right? Now, what we're doing with this strategy is very simple. We're doing a creative test. Remember, I said ad creative is the actual advertisement that people will see. So this means that you will test to find out which of your advertisement are the best performing advertisement. Once you find this, you want to filter that and you go to the next step, which is to do an interest test. So once we found a winning advertisement, we want to find out the winning demographic, the winning interest, etc., etc. So what we're doing is we're finding out, let's say, for example, I'm selling a beauty product and I'm sending my advertisement out to people who are interested in makeup. People are interested in uh, massage, or people are interested in lace wigs, stuff like that, anything in beauty, right? Then I want to find which of those interests resonate with my product the most. Now, once I've found a winning creative and a winning interest, I then pair the winning creative and the winning interest, and then I keep bumping up the ad budget with no cap once I'm profitable. In this case, once you're profitable, you want to do the same. So let me just say that again. What we're doing is we're doing a creative test to find our winning advertisement. We're doing an interest test to find the winning interest, to find out what group of people are interested in our offer. Then we're going to pair the winning advertisement with the winning group of people, and then we're going to bump up the budget to that winning ad set, right? And I'm going to show you guys how that is done, how you bump up the budget, and etc. But once you do that, that's the thing that really prints your money. And it is so simple. I've never used a complex ad strategy before because I find this to be very simple. I keep doing this and I never have a campaign. Like, I never have a campaign that is performing really bad unless the offer is not good, and I will quickly know that okay, I need to change the offer. And once the offer is changed, then advertisement is never my issue, right? So I want the same thing for you guys as well. This is a very valuable ad strategy. Anyway, that's my smiley face because it's awesome stuff. All right. So let's talk about the creative test. So once again, when you go to Facebook, you want to use the manual setup and you want to optimize for sales. So you're going to see Advantage Plus and you're going to see Objective if you want to get awareness, if you want to get leads. Always optimize for sales. If you ask why, well, simply because Facebook will send your offer, your advertisement to people who have history of actually making purchase actions or making purchase decisions, etc., etc. So while leads are amazing byproduct of the micro webinar, you want to optimize for sales because that's the ultimate goal and that's the thing that we're aggressively optimizing for, right? With the micro webinar, we're trying to go straight for that sale on the 10-minute presentation. So we're going to optimize for sales. Now, when it comes on to ad set, you want to have no interest or an interest stack. Now, if you don't know what an interest stack is, this is where you have 3 to 5 interest with one ad, right? So let me say that one more time. In your ad set, depending on what you're targeting, because if it is that you're targeting, if it is that you're in the wealth niche, right? And a lot of people might have this desire and you're only testing for creative, then you don't necessarily need to use an interest for that test, right? Because people all over the world want to make money, right? If it is they're optimizing for love, people all over the world want to find their partner, want to be in love. Those type of stuff, you don't necessarily need to add any interest. You can do no interest. But if yours is a little bit more, what you call it? If it's a little bit more niched, then you can work with your 3 to 5 best idea of the people who will be interested in this stuff, and you just stack them together, right? And then you instead of that ad set, you only have one advertisement. So let's go back a little bit. So for example, right here, right, in this ad set, okay, you will have no interest or 3 to 5 interest on this one ad set with one advertisement inside of it. All right. So that's when you're doing your interest test. Okay. So now what you want to then do is you're going to schedule that ad set for midnight. Now, if you're wondering why you want to schedule it for midnight, because if you just click publish right away and it's like at 6 p.m., Facebook is probably going to approve one advertisement 15 minutes, then the other advertisement an hour after, then the next advertisement 1.5 hour later or 30 minutes, and then they'll be spending the budget wildly and not evenly. When you schedule it for midnight, what happens is that your advertisement start running all at once. So if it is that you're spending $10 on an ad set, on each ad set, then you can easily see what's working and what's not working, right? Because all of them have the same ad budget, they're going to the same people, but this one has maybe a higher um, CTR, which you're going to learn about that shortly, higher CTR, and you can say, okay, then this one is clearly the one that's working. So let's talk about that. So once again, ad set, you know what to put in your ad set. You schedule for midnight, and then you want to duplicate the ad set and replace only the advertisement. So once you've set up your ad set with your 3 to 5 interest or no interest whatsoever with just one advertisement, you're going to duplicate that ad set depending on the amount of advertisement that you have. So how many times do you duplicate this? So for example, if I have 3 advertisement testing, right? I recommend testing 3 to 5 when you're starting out. If you have 3 advertisement testing, what you want to do is you create that first ad set, duplicate it, and then you replace only the advertisement. Then you duplicate it once more and you replace only the advertisement. So now you have 3 ad sets with only one ad in each ad set. All right. Now remember, if this is a bit too technical for you, I've created a step-by-step Facebook ads course where I actually go in detail in this. On this, sorry, you guys can actually purchase that one. I would recommend. That's a Facebook course for itself. Inside the micro webinar method, I can only show you the strategy that you guys can use to deploy for your ad campaign, right? Because I don't want it to be this long technical course on just Facebook ads, so if you definitely need a Facebook ads course, I recommend you getting that training. Now once you've done this, what you want to do is you want to run it for 24 hours, right? And then to determine the winner, you're going to work with the one that has the highest link click-through rate. There are 2 click-through rate. You have CTR click-through rate just means that you have the percentage of people who click on your advertisement when they see it. And when I say click on your advertisement, not the link, but they click, maybe check the comment section, maybe they click read more to see your ad copy and all that. But you want advertisement with the highest link click through rate because that means that they've clicked on learn more, right? Or shop now, whatever it is that sign up now, whatever it is that you've placed for your call to action, the percentage of people that click on that, the highest. Now, a good CTR is anywhere from 2.5 and higher, right? If it is that it's like 2% and it's still profitable, then you can cut it some slack, right? But for now, we're looking for 2.5 or higher because the more you scale it, you're gonna find it that the CTR goes lower. So you want to find it as high as possible. 2.5 is pretty good. 2.5 or more, awesome. Or if it is that you get a purchase, that's a bonus. But you're not optimizing for purchase in the first run. You're really optimizing for link click-through rate, right? The ones that with the highest CTR or a bonus purchase, as I mentioned to you guys, you're not looking for purchases in the first run, right? And I recommend for each ad set, the minimum would be $10, right? But oftentimes I spend like $50 for the day. So I divide that. If I have 5 advertisement testing, I would spend $10 on each equal 5. If it is that I have 3 advertisement testing, I would spend $15. That would be $45, right? If it is that, you get the point, right? So depending on the amount of advertisement that I have, if I'm only testing 2 advertisements, it will be $25 on each. Okay, for each ad set, so that we can test which advertisement is our winning ad. Now, once we found our winning advertisement, now we want to do our interest test. Now, with the interest test, once again, we're going to launch a campaign, manual setup for sales, right? Then we're going to name it interest test. Before we name this one creative test, that's up to you, by the way, right? But I like to do that. So for the ad set, you're now going to have one interest with one winning ad. Now, some cases you may find 2 winning advertisements, but in most cases, you're going to find one that really stands out, and you want that one that really stands out. I'm very big on don't waste time with advertisements that are not performing well, even if you took a year to create it. Just work with the ones that are actually telling you that they're working based on data. And once you do this, it increases your profitability and it allows you to not waste time. So if you have an advertisement and it's working, please only work with that one advertisement. I've scaled advertisement up to $1,000 per day with just one simple boring photo ad that I can't seem to wrap my head around that is working. But I said, it's working. So let's bump the budget on that one. So aggressively, you're going to scale on the one advertisement that is working. Okay. So once again, the ad set must have one interest with one winning advertisement. right? Once again, you're going to schedule. Once again, you're also going to schedule this for midnight. Remember why? I just explained that. Now you're going to duplicate the ad set, then replace only the interest. So remember before, when we duplicated the ad set, we replaced the advertisement because we were testing different advertisements. But now we found our winning advertisement. So now that we have our winning advertisement, we want to put that one winning advertisement into an ad set, then duplicate the ad set and change only the interest. And we're going to do this 5 times to test 5 different interests. Once we do this and we test 5 different interests, what we're going to do is we're going to let this run for 24 hours. To determine a winner, we're going to look for the highest click-through rate. Once again, link click-through rate with minimum 2.5%. Now, you guys might be wondering, what if my link click-through rate is not 2.5%? Well, you dump it and you start over the process. That what you did before. If you don't hit the mark, then it doesn't make sense you pour more money into it because none of them are working, right? And then also you can look for the one that has the most purchases. Right here, you may find like a one purchase. You're not looking for maximum profitability right here. If you get a sale, your offer is validated, fully validated, right? But you're really looking for a sale when you've paired the winning interest with the winning creative, the winning creative and the winning interest. Once you have these two, that's when you can start looking out. Because once, remember, what you're looking for is data. And if you're launching this new offer, you need data first, right? So this will give you the data you need, and then you can start optimizing for sale, which would mean that you take you to $150 in ad spend, and you should at least get a sale. If you didn't get a sale, then you know that you need to keep running it to find out areas that you need to improve. And this system will tell you exactly, I'm going to talk about the metric. It will show you exactly what areas you need to improve easily if it is that you want to further scale. Now, we found our winning creative, we found our winning interest. Now let's talk about the winning pair. So what you want to do next is to turn off all the losing interest in terms of the ad set, right? And you want to keep only the best performing one. So just working with the beauty example once more. If it is that you're testing skincare, you're testing makeup, you're testing hairstyle, all these type of stuff, and only skincare was the one that won in terms of the ad set data that we're looking for, then you will turn off everything else and keep only that one interest, right? Then you want to allocate all the budget on that ad set, meaning the winning ad set, the winning interest, one that has the winning interest, allocate all the budget on that one. So if your goal is to spend $50 for the first day, then you can do that. Now, understand that you can spend $5 on those stuff, but when you're running advertisement, money is just a matter of time. How much time do you have? If you spend $1, it means that you would have to wait 10 days to find out if it is that advertisement is working, because in 10 days it will spend $10, right? Versus you can do that in 24 hours or even 12 hours, right? By spending a higher budget. So budget when it comes down to advertisement is just a matter of speed and time. Well, yeah, you get the point I'm saying. But yeah, I think you get the point what I'm making right there. Now let it run, and once it's profitable, you want to do this. Most of you guys will be starting with $50, so you want to move from $50 per day to $100 per day. Whoa, Chemstar, that's crazy. That's 100% increase in ad budget. This guru told me to spend bump it up by 25% every 48 hours. Okay, well, I'm only here to tell you what works for me, and this is my strategy. I've done this only too many times, right? And I've never had a single problem with aggressively scaling because I realize that it is aggressive, right? Because others deem it as, yeah, but anyways, it works for me, right? So what I do is, for me, when I'm analyzing my data for my funnels and all these things, I realize that the numbers are very consistent. If I have, let's say, 3 consecutive days where my funnel is converting at 3%, and I'm getting like 100 people to that funnel, and I'm getting like 4 sales, so I have a 4% conversion rate. For me, it's only logical that the funnel just needs more people on it per day. And that's what bumping up your ad budget does, it brings more people to the funnel per on a daily basis. So if I'm making $100 a day, I can easily bump it up by 100% and make $200 per day. Right? It's only logical. The numbers don't lie, and you can easily fix and tweak if the numbers are not where we want them to be. And once I understood that, it really made the game really simple and easy for me, and I don't have to worry about, oh my god, I'm spending so much money, right? So once again, if you're doing this profitably, and here's a little hack as well. I don't mean to digress and talk about a bunch of stuff, but the truth is, you see, when you have an advertisement and you are accepting PayPal and Stripe, Stripe has this instant payout feature that if it is that you optimize it, and let's say you reach a point where you're spending $1,000 per day, that money is not really coming out of your pocket because if you get payments via PayPal, you can easily pay back for your advertisement through PayPal because it's instant. And if it is that you want to pay back using your Stripe account, you can just appeal for Stripe instant payout, and then you can easily pay back for your advertisement, or you just use a credit card. But either way, you can leverage OPM, other people's money, right? And then that can use to scale your business rapidly. So I go from 50 to $100, then from $100 to $300, then from $300 to $500, and then from $500 to $1,000. Normally, how I scale my ad campaigns, and I would do this within a week. Crazy, but it helps me to really scale and make as much money in the market as possible with my ad campaigns. So sometimes I would just launch an offer, and the minute it is profitable, I just bump it up, and I bump it up, and I bump it up, bump it up. I just don't stop because if it's making me more, then why do I stop? I don't need to stop. Now let's talk about the metrics. So once again, for your advertisement, you want to look out for a 2.5% click-through rate, right? And also you want to look out for your opt-in rate to be minimum 30%. You want to ultimately get this like 50% or more, but 30%, I can see this being profitable if it is that your advertisement targeting is right. If your advertisement targeting is wrong, then it's gonna be a little bit difficult because I've seen funnel convert with 50 people on the presentation page, right? And that's pretty low opt-in with the ad budget that we're talking about. So if it is that you have the right people, so the winning creative ad creative with the winning interest, then the people who enter your funnel and see your presentation is going to convert way higher. I always talk about this as the click value of your advertisement. Not all clicks are equal. So when you have an advertisement that is like, it's just so funny, like human psychology. Anyway, but some advertisement will bring a different set of people, which is why it's so important to test with a very clear thing in mind, like this strategy, right? What you're looking for. But once I realized this, like some advertisement bring in better quality people, then the game really changes. So what you want to do is think of it like this way: you're basically filling a room of people, your ideal audience, and then you're converting them. So if it is that a bunch of time wasters are there because the targeting is off, then you're not going to convert much. But once again, the opt-in rate minimum 30%. If it's below that, then you really need to fix that before you go to advertise to cold traffic. And the presentation conversion rate minimum 4%. Because here's the truth: if it is that you launch your advertisement and the advertisement is pulling the right people in, and you're presenting this offer and you're pricing it between the price range of $17 to $49, right? Then you're going to find it that a lot of people are converting when they watch your presentation to the end. So if you're getting below 4%, then you might want to look at that. It's most of you guys, you're going to find a way higher conversion rate, but I'm just saying, in case you mess things up, 4% is the bare minimum for it to really work, right? And then for the upsell conversion rate, a 20% conversion rate. You guys can do way better, but I see like a 20 to 25% conversion rate with very little effort. Like upsells where no videos are there. So pretty sure you guys can hit that as well. Um, Order bumps, I personally believe it should be 90%. But once again, if it is that you're seeing an 80% conversion rate for the order bump, priced between $7 to $17, then should be good as well. Upsell ranging from 49 to $97 for the 20% conversion rate. All right. So these are the metrics that you guys can look out for. Once you have them in place, then your micro webinar funnel should be doing some pretty cool stuff in the market. Now, for the frequently asked question, some people ask, do I only do I keep only one ad? So that's when they do their creative test. What if they get multiple advertisements and multiple are above the 2.5% click through rate? Do you keep only one, or yeah? So the thing is, um, strive for the best. You only keep two if it is that the metrics are really close, like dead on close, like both of them are giving you 2.5% conversion rate. And in all honesty, I always only choose one advertisement, because even if both of them have a 2.5% link click through rate, I always go for a next metric. And the next metric I look for is initiated website, number of initiated checkout on the website. Yeah, I think that's correct. But when both of them have the same click through rate, I want to see what which of the advertisement, right, that brought people to my webinar stay to the end to actually click the button to go to the checkout page. And don't overcomplicate this part, because Facebook already has the metric there. It says initiated website checkout. So once your pixel is set up correctly, Facebook will just add it to your ad column, and Facebook will show you which advertisement gets the most initiated checkouts. So I guess to answer that question, it would be yes, right? Just find the best performing advertisement. And here's a cool thing. Oh, the next question: when do I add more advertisement? So when do you add more advertisement? Well, the cool thing is this: you can add at any time, but you just have to go through the creative test process. When you find one ad creative, really and truly one ad creative can scale up to big things. And while you're scaling that, you can afford to test other creatives profitably. And the cool thing that I realize is as well, the sale for or from your other advertisement, once you have one creative that is doing well, it becomes an easier process. So sometimes you, even during your creative test, you will start getting sales because you've scaled that one advertisement up so much, people are seeing it. But then when they see a new advertisement from you, it's like, huh, a fresh perspective on a new advertisement. So I'm like, huh, let me click on this again and check it out. Right. So that's something that you guys want to keep in mind as well. So yeah, you can go ahead and launch up that one advertisement with that one interest, scale it up, and then once you can afford it, or if you want to just do it right away, you can repeat the process. You always repeat the process to find the winning um, advertisement. Now, also, if it is that your winning advertisement is already paired with a winning interest, then when you're doing the creative test, again, you don't necessarily have to do a 2 day test. You're only launching the creative, one creative with the winning interest, because you already know the winning interest. So it wouldn't take you more than 1 day to actually do that test, because you already know what interest to optimize for. So now you can optimize for like sales and all these type of stuff. But you just repeat the process. Highest click-through rate, sometimes even sales from there on, right? And then you can test more. And then once you find the winner, you put it into that winning ad set that you already had from before, right? So then you repeat the process, then you put it there. So what you're going to find is that you know you're going to have a campaign with one ad set with a bunch of winning advertisement, and then that campaign can last for a longer time because all your advertisements are validated and everything is just smooth sailing, and life just becomes way easier because everything is just set right. And that is like a really cool stress-free a way to go about your business and live, I can tell you that for sure. So yeah. Oh, we have a few more questions right here. What budget should I start with? Yeah, budget is, as I mentioned to you guys, is a matter of speed. But I recommend $50 per day. What if I don't get a sale? What if you don't get a sale? At what point though? If you don't get a sale in your creative test, that's fine. That's normal. If you don't get a sale in your interest test, that's also normal. When you start optimizing for a sale is when you're doing your interest paired with your winning advertisement. That's when you start optimizing for sale, and then you will know what's up. Remember to look out for the metrics right here. Feel free to take a screenshot of this right now. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Right. Yeah, so if you don't get a sale at all, even during your creative test, and even when you found the winning advertisement and winning creative, then it might means that you need to revisit the offer. Right, you might want to revisit the offer. And yeah, but once you've nailed this system down, it's a pretty cool system to have in place. So I hope you guys found this module helpful. I'll see you in the next module.